What's going on, guys? I hope y'all having a great day. Today we're going to be unboxing and installing our Edge CTS2 and our Edge Juice with Attitude on the 2001 24 valve Cummins. If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe because there's going to be a ton of new parts coming to this thing. I really need to wash it. It looks disgusting right now, but I've made a ton of videos on the channel. Make sure you guys go check them out, from exhaust to suspension leveling kit install to color matching the tow mirrors to the Edge CTS2 that we're going to be installing today. This is one of the more requested videos. I've been asked a lot about this. Those of you who have been subscribed to the channel for a little bit, you know that this Edge Juice with Attitude, I did have a problem with it, and the CTS2 did have a problem with the shipping, and I finally got it in the mail today. So we will be installing it. I apologize for the shipping. Trust me, I was mad too, but I finally got it in and we are good to go. So we're about to do the unboxing right now, then install it. So without further ado, I had to wait on shipping forever. Long story short, UPS plane could not make the estimated date on time, and so it just delayed everything. So, but we're not mad anymore. We finally got it. I'm about to go update the monitor, make sure we got the most up-to-date software on it. Then I'm going to read the directions and I'll jump here back with you in just a second. Alright guys, so I just got done programming and updating the CTS2, the Juice with Attitude from Edge. I went ahead and put the suction cup on the back of it, and I just want to do a brief overview. I read the instructions, I got a better idea now of what I'm talking about with this thing, and I want to explain a few things to you guys and kind of make it a little easier for you if you were going to buy this product, so you have a general understanding of how it works. So this, of course, hooks up to the HDMI on the back of it and will just hook up right to your OBD2 port. Now this is an EAS. This connects to this thing right here, which connects to the wiring harness right here, which you can just, that enables you to connect another device to the block, which is, you can think of this thing as a huge wiring harness, and this just sends signals and to this thing, which that again sends signals to this cord right here, and then this connects to the EAS on the cord running to the OBD2 port. So here's your main thing right here. This is your edge juice with attitude. You can think of this is your EAS, which connects to this wire, which connects to this, and connects right into the block, which gets all your readings. This is going to be your EGTs, your trans temp, your fuel pressure, your boost, and a few grounds. And a few wires like these are going to go to your fuse box, or these couple wires right here are going to go to your fuse box, which is all supplied by Edge. They do a very good job of supplying you with the fuses and the wires running to the connectors. It's super easy. Edge makes it super easy. And I just figured this all out within probably like 40 minutes. And so as far as the EGTs, this is obviously going to be your fuel pressure. This actually is going to connect to an aftermarket lift pump, i.e. a fast or an air dog. This is going to connect, this is a banjo bolt that's going to connect to your stock fuel filter if you do have one, which most second gen Dodges probably won't have one of these. You're probably going to have a lift pump, so you would use this guy right here, which I don't need to use, but I'm going to explain that very briefly here. So stick with me if you've already seen me do this. If you've already checked out my ISPRO gauge install video, I'm just going to briefly go over the fuel pressure one. So if you have a fast or an air dog, it's going to be back here. Your sensor is going to be right connected to the top of your air dog and to the housing itself. You might not be able to see right now, but what I'm pointing at is going to be what I just showed you in that packaging. It's just the same exact screw-in adapter that connects. These wires right here are running to my cab, running to the fuse box, to my gauges. I already have my EGTs, trans temp, and fuel pressure. And then as far as the EGT goes, here's the wires running to my firewall grommet right there. EGT goes, it's going to be a 3/16 drill bit. You're going to drill it in there. You're going to tap it with a 1/8 NPT tap, and make sure you tap her straight and you do not mess up the threads. You really want to be careful when you're tapping this if you are using the EGT gauge from Edge. And then it connects to the wiring harness, which connects straight to the gauge itself, but in your case you would connect it straight to the block if you're just connecting the Edge. So that's how that goes. And the trans temp is super easy, guys. You're just going to connect it to the oil pan. All you got to do is take out a bolt, screw the sensor bolt in, run your wires. It's going to be 2 wires, obviously a ground and the power wire, or the wire sending the readings, the codes, over to your box. Again, it'd be your box instead of connecting it straight to your gauge itself. So that is an overview of everything. And now we're going to jump right into this. I'm going to plug this in. This actually has tunes on it, and I actually want to read the box if I can find the box, so you get a better understanding of the Edge Juice with Attitude and what it all does. So I'm going to read this very quickly. So the new CTS2, if you guys didn't know, this came out, I'm thinking about a year ago. Slim, sleek case design, full color, high resolution, 5-inch swipe screen functionality. The screen works great, actually. It works almost like a cell phone. Not as good as a cell phone, but it's more of like, it's better than a GPS. Let's put it that way. Better than a GPS, not as good as a cell phone. Custom color mixer for gauges. Yeah, you can customize all the backgrounds. There's actually programs you can download on the computer. I was looking at that a minute ago, and you can change the background customly, and you can change the gauge layout. Pretty much exactly what it says in the box. One simple HDMI port. Very simple to use this thing, guys. Link in the EAS accessories, which I was just talking to you about. Multiple gauge screen layouts. It comes with some stock ones. Fuel customizable backgrounds. We just talked about that. One touch easy menu navigation. We'll go through that here in a second. Notification center. It's all you gotta do is swipe the top of the screen. We'll go over that also. 6 on-the-fly adjustable power levels. That is crazy. That is the best thing about the Edge Juice with Attitude, the CTS2 monitor, and that's gonna be awesome to use. Up to additional 180 horsepower and 440 foot-pounds of torque. Performance tuning for mileage, towing, daily driving, and performance. Dynamic safety features, cold engine protection, back downs, and turbo timer. Now, turbo timer is something that I will get to, just probably not in this video. I do want to figure out how to do that. I don't know how to do that right at this second. I don't know if it's hard. I don't know if it's easy. I haven't even looked it up, but it's something I want to do, and I just found out about 20 minutes ago that this one did it. I actually didn't know it even did it. So that is going to be something I'm going to look into. Improves low end response, which will always be good. Other features, I'm not going to read all these things, guys. It's a long list. Basically, the thing is awesome, and we're about to hook it up and show you what it looks like here in a second. I'm going to hook it up to the OBD2 port, and run my wire up to the dash. I'm going to suction cup it on there. I'm going to clean it off. It comes with a supplied alcohol wipe, which is awesome. It comes with everything you need, pretty much. There's nothing that, I mean, you don't really even need any tools for this thing. It comes with everything you need. So Edge is doing a great job with that. I'm going to plug it up and then run you through the setup mode, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, so it is the day after last night. It took me about 40 minutes to an hour to set the thing up, and then it got dark. It gets dark extremely quick in Hawaii, and I didn't want to put you guys through another night install, so I decided I'd wait till the next day to show you guys how I set it up. I did set it up last night. I did take it around the neighborhood. I wanted to be able to tell you guys how it feels, and if it feels any different. I really wanted to put that into this video, and I don't want to make the video too long, so I'm gonna go as fast as possible through this and show you guys how I set it up. It's very easy. Now, I watched a video, I'm gonna get off track right here, but I watched a video of another person installing the Edge Juice with Attitude, and they had to go through like an entire setup process as far as like, you know, Dodge, GM, Ford, what vehicle do you have? They selected that. All it asked me, it automatically detected that I had a Dodge, so it didn't even ask me that. It said detecting make and model. It detected it. It already knew it. I guess it got the signal. I guess the Edge made an update on their module, and they made it a little bit sharper, a little bit better in the last few months or last year since it came out originally. I know they got the auto dim brightness thing now, which is awesome. Works kind of like an iPhone, how it automatically dims itself if it gets dark outside, and that was cool to see last night. But it asked me, what did it ask me? It asked me if I drove a manual or a automatic, so it did ask me that. I had to put in the weight of the vehicle, so I did end up putting that. I had to put the size of the tires in to adjust the speedometer on the monitor itself, and a few other things. We're about to go through the basics of the screen layout and show you guys what it looks like, how it goes and transitions in between performance modes. So as far as what I had to hook up to get this Edge to work, you guys know I have the ISPRO gauges already, and if you guys are saying, oh my god, this dude's a retard, he's got ISPRO gauges and an Edge monitor, thing's a monitor. I obviously know that. I am getting the boost off of it now, which is good, but the reason why I have the ISPRO gauge and the ISPRO gauges and the monitor, I ended up getting a pretty good deal on the Edge monitor, and I'd be dumb to turn it down, so I did go with both. So that's to answer y'all's questions why I have both. Yes, I know it's retarded. I have literally a monitor, which is a tuner in the same time. It's still a tuner, but I love the product. It's awesome, and I can do plenty of things with it and still have my mechanical gauges with the fuel pressure, trans temp, and pyrometer from ISPRO. So we're about to go through the display. I'm gonna set you guys up here in the corner and walk you through the module itself and show you guys what it looks like. All right, so as you guys can see, I got my RPMs, battery, miles per hour, boost is right here on the bottom, and I have my transmission fluid temperature, which is right here. It's reading 93 degrees, which is spot on with the ISPRO gauge, so that's good. I'm gonna adjust this and change things around. Like, I don't need the trans temp in the corner, and like, I believe I can just touch it, and then I can actually change the select new PID. I can select something different. I can select torque, mileage instant, mileage average, juice EGT, which I don't need that. Of course, I have the ISPRO EGT already. I can change everything and adjust it, but we're not gonna do that in this video. That's just plain out. That's simple, and you guys can go through that and understand. The main things I wanted to go through is, of course, everyone wants to see how it changes levels. So I'm in level 3 right now. I have it set to level 3 every time I start up, and that is the daily driving / performance mode. So I don't know what the horsepower is for level 3. I'm assuming it's somewhere in the 50 range, because someone told me that level 1 gives you plus 25. So I'm assuming level 3 is somewhere in the 50 range, you know, plus 10, minus 10, things like that. But I think I'm on the safe side with saying 50. I think I'm more on the safe side with that. So I got engine coolant temperature, which is right here, which I don't have with the ISPRO gauges, so I need that. I need to keep that. I need to keep my boost. RPMs, you know, that's cool to know, but I don't really need to know that. Battery, of course, got that on the dash already, so I can change things around and do whatever. But what we're gonna go and show you the basic layout. So performance settings, of course, we already know what that is. We'll select it anyway to show you. It's just I can set the turbo timer, I can put the truck, which I did put that in there as well. Low boost response, I can change things, back down settings, things like that. Next thing is going to be our layout. We can change the layout. I've already told you guys that you can actually plug this up to the computer and change the layout customly. I did look at that last night a little bit, and it interests me, so I'll probably go all back on the computer and make a custom one. Records, this is actually going to store your records as far as 0 to 60, your max boost, or what you're pushing boost, your fuel PSI, engine temperature. It's pretty much just stores all of your information that your vehicle is putting out. You can go in there and you can store data. Next thing we're going to go into is data log, which data log, I'm pretty sure this is going to, let's select it and see what it goes. I don't know everything about this. Data logging will start when you return to the gauge display. Warning, ensure that you turn off the selected run by returning to the data logging menu or by turning the vehicle off and waiting for the unit to power down. Okay. Next thing we're going to take a look at is performance testing. Now here, it's pretty cool. I'm never going to use anything like this. It's not a race truck, but if it was, it'd be pretty nice to use. It can get your 0 to 60 time, your quarter mile, your horsepower. Of course, you know, horsepower isn't going to be spot on, but I've been told that it can get close. But to get real horsepower, you just want to get it dynoed, and then it has instructions here at the bottom. So it has like a Christmas tree, just like a normal racetrack. Press the pedal and it'll clock. Once you get to 60, it'll stop and it'll give you your readings, how long it took you, how many feet it took you to get to 60 miles an hour, things like that. Diagnostics, that can pretty much read the codes on the vehicle. Now I'm not reading any codes right now, but if I was, it would pop up and then I could be able to clear it as well. Mileage coach, I'm not going to go into that. Pretty much it is exactly what it sounds like. Mileage coach, it can tell you what you're getting miles per gallon, what you can do to get better, what you should be at. And next thing, maintenance manager, self-explanatory settings. I will select this just to show you guys what you can change. Juice settings, accessory settings, vehicle settings, alert settings, back down, auto dim, which you can make it brighter or duller. Sound duration, menu timeout, 300 seconds, vehicle weight, I put that in. Calibrate accelerometer, units in English, of course. Show swipe tutorial is going to be off, and factory reset if I wanted to reset everything. So we go back, and then of course the last thing is going to be help. Alright, so now that we've got a brief understanding of how the actual module works and how to change things, now last thing I didn't really go over too much here a second ago. You can change the layout by just going right here. You can change it, just have some stock ones. You can change the colors, things like that. I think the blue looks kind of cool, so I'm gonna just keep it like that for now. Now, as far as changing the power levels, it is on the fly, which is pretty cool. So again, I'm set to stay at 3 every time I go on. And then if I wanted to maybe slow it down, I could go to power level 2. This is actually a towing level, and then I could go all the way up to 5. So the thing is, you scroll down, you hit the up arrow, you go to a different level, then you scroll down again if you wanted to go up more. You go up to level 4, and then we could scroll down again, go up to level 5. And go all the way up to 6. Now I'm never going to roll around on 6 or 5. I do have a stock transmission. The highest I would ever go just to mess around is if it was really heated up, engine was all heated up, transmission was been rolling for a while, I might go to 4 just to mess around, but I'm more than likely not even going to do that. I'm more than likely just going to stay in level 3, and from what I've been told, don't quote me on it, but level 3, what I hear, can even actually give you the best fuel economy as well. I don't know how exactly all that works, I'm not a scientist, but I hear that it gives you some pretty good fuel economy, so I'm going to leave it in 3. I can definitely tell the difference in the horsepower, but that's a basic understanding of the module itself. I really like it. It's super easy to use. Even for me, I'm not that experienced with tuners or monitors or anything like that, but it's really easy to understand and really easy to set up. So to actually set this thing up, it was super easy out of the box. I had everything I needed. Now, if you guys don't have ISPRO gauges already or any other gauges, then you might have to do the fuel pressure, trans temp, and EGTs. You definitely want to get those readings on the module itself. But for me, it was super easy. All I had to do was plug it up to the OBD2 port, the EAS, run the EAS wire from the firewall into the cab and from the fuse box. I'll show you guys here in a second what it all looks like. It's kind of messy right now, but it looks fine. Actually, I'll do that right now. I'm actually about to turn the truck off and show you guys what it looks like. All right, so like I was just saying, it took me about 45 minutes to set this thing up. It was super easy for me because I had a lot of it done. Now, I hooked it up to my data link, which is right under the fuel filter if you have a 2000 to 2002 24 valve. Now, if you have a 1998 and a half to, I believe it's through 2000 or 1999s, then yours is going to be a little closer to the VP44. So yours will be a little easier to get to for your data link. Now, map sensor is going to be in the back behind the fuel filter. You can see that right there. So it goes, data link is right here where I'm pointing. It's all the way at the bottom though, so you're gonna have to dig your hand in there. Then map sensor is in the back. Now the next thing I had to do, this is my EAS running to the actual, this is my cord running through the firewall to the OBD2 port running through HDMI to the module itself up there. And then I had to ground it, which I grounded it at my battery. This is the grounding wire right here, and, or excuse me, this is the grounding wire right here, and it's just obviously going to be grounded to the battery. Super easy, comes with everything you need. And then the next thing I had to do was put the fuse in, and that's going to be the second to last one on the very top. And it's just a regular fuse. I think it's like a 10 amp or something. And then you're just gonna plug that in, and then bam, there you go, right to the block itself. And that's all I had to do. So 1, 2, EAS is gonna be 3, which is right here, 4 map sensor, 5 data link, 5 things hooked up. Super easy. The biggest thing, oh, I zip tied this, but biggest thing is, like, it looks really messy right now, so I'm gonna have to figure out a better way. But this is only the second day I've had it, so it's gonna look messy right now. I'll get it all fixed up. I have this zip tied right there, and then I have a couple zip ties on this one, so when I did drive it yesterday or this morning, I didn't have any problems. But the power feels very much stronger with the juice with attitude, and now I can finally roll some coal if I ever did want to. But I don't really have any plans on doing that anytime soon. But here's the truck, guys. I did have to wash it this morning because it was kind of embarrassing having it in the video so dirty yesterday. I really wasn't happy about that. The color match tow mirrors do look pretty good now that it's washed. I can barely tell the difference between the tow mirrors and the handles and the actual door or the truck itself, so that's good news. Now I'm thinking about actually getting the entire truck painted, and I'm typing in numbers, seeing where the budget's at, if I can actually get the entire thing painted. I don't know if I'd stay with the silver. I really do like the silver, and it'd be a lot easier to either do it myself or for a professional to do it. I don't know which one I'm gonna go with yet, but I'm either gonna get it painted the same exact color, silver, or I'll go with a crazy color, and that would be a surprise. I'm actually not gonna release that. I almost slipped and said it, but I got 2 colors in mind that I might just go crazy and actually get it painted. But who knows? I might not. I don't know. Depends on where the money's at. But I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you did like it, please leave me a like down below if you have any questions. And there's probably gonna be a lot of questions for this one. It was kind of a touchy install because I did want to make this video as fast as possible, and I didn't want to make it very long. So I did end up MPs. Gotta wave to them. It's kind of a different install that I normally make because I wanted to make this as quick as possible. I didn't want to film every exact thing that I did, which is normally what I do every single time. But I typed the numbers in, and I actually did make different clips, and I showed everything. This video would have been like 40 minutes, so I wanted to make it as short as possible. So if you have any questions, then I have no problem answering them. So ask them below in the comment section. Please leave me a like. That helps me a ton. Suggest the video for more people to watch it, and we will see you in the next one.